things hackers, criminals, sewer rats. The cyberpunk dystopia is upon us. Everything is getting worse, and technology wants to kill us. Now I've been skulking around the abandoned subway tunnels lit intermittently with futuristic neons, pondering our condition. And I think it's time to address a major injustice of our broken society. I think it's time to stand up for the most oppressed class of people, Cybertruck owners.
Los Angeles, November 2019. The skies are polluted. The world is addicted to oil. But we're here to offer a solution. The Cybertruck. The #1 mode of transport for a cyber girl. The greatest evolution in vehicular, fashion, and function.
Guys, we went off-roading in the Cybertruck and it started smoking. We wrecked the battery on something. It is smoking like crazy. Oh!
Something just break off. Trailer functionality may be unavailable. That does not sound good at all.
If I see a Cybertruck towing on the freeway, I would not want to be anywhere close to that thing.
It's a piece of garbage.
Thank you.
I know, you gotta be kidding me, right?
No, we paid a lot of money for it, yeah.
I'm dead serious.
You asked me if I made it myself. No, come on, this is a good looking car.
Are you kidding me? No, you didn't buy it.
This is the future right here.
You're not that stupid.
I guess I am.
Cybertruck owners, they gotta deal with people drawing penises on their cars. Flipping them off in traffic, sneaking into their driveways at night to stick cheese on their cars, and worst of all, being mean on the internet. Okay, now if you will excuse me, these are not my prescription, and I need to be able to read. I pointed and laughed at a Cybertruck driver last week. My girlfriend can attest. It was the first one I'd ever seen IRL, so I rolled the window down, pointed at the guy behind the wheel, and laughed as loud as I could for 5 seconds. I think probably 4 to 5 people saw it, and there was a bunch of cars around. The guy got mad and tried to chase me, but I hit the brakes, got behind him, and outmaneuvered him easily in a Prius. TBH, I feel a little bad about it because he looked really sad, but I'm doing him a favor by cultivating this hostile environment around owning Cybertrucks. They're dangerous and deadly to drivers and passengers. I'm saving his life by pointing out the cringeworthiness of his purchase. That way, he will sell it and be out of danger. If anything, he should be thanking me for looking out for his life, to be honest. But before we truly get into it, I must relay a word from this video's sponsor, Aura. Companies that might have a lot of personal information about you are getting hacked all the time, which means that your personal information, which you trusted these companies with, might now be in the hands of data brokers who could sell it to all matter of unsavory spammers, scammers, and identity thieves. For example, the Bank of America recently announced a big data breach, and the really messed up thing about that one is that they didn't tell anyone about it for months. Thankfully, there are ways to protect your personal information online, and Aura is an incredible tool that is available to you to help do that. Aura will identify data brokers who are selling your personal information online and submit requests to have it removed. You'll notice that you're receiving a lot less spam. You'll also be safe from things that are much worse than just annoying spam. Aura also monitors the dark web and will alert you if any of your personal information is shared there. They'll let you know immediately if anybody tries to use that information to access your bank account or credit cards, and they provide up to $5 million in identity theft insurance if the worst were to happen to you. And if that alone wasn't enough, Aura also offers a whole bunch of other online security features all built into one app, such as a VPN with 100+ virtual locations. You can head over to my lovely link in the description down below, aura.com/strangeeons. You'll be able to use it for free for 14 days, which will be enough time for Aura to determine if any of your personal data has been shared. Thank you again to Aura for sponsoring this video. That link is down below for your clicking, and now I return you to your regularly scheduled Cybertrucks. Because that's what this video is about. On the first Sunday of spring, surrounded by row houses and magnolia trees, I came to a horrifying realization. My mom was right. I had been flipped off at least 17 times, called a motherfucker in both English and Spanish, and a fucking dork. A woman in a blue sweater stared at me, sighed, and said, "You should be ashamed of yourself." All of this because I was driving a Tesla Cybertruck. I had told my mom about my plan to rent this thing and drive it around Washington, D.C. for a day. A journalistic experiment to understand what it's like behind the wheel of America's most hated car. Wow, be careful, she texted back right away. But out of sheer masochism or stupidity, I still went ahead and spent a day driving one. As I idled with the windows down on a street in the Mount Pleasant neighborhood, a woman glared at me from her front porch. "Fuck you and this truck and Elon," she yelled. "You drive a Nazi truck." Is it wrong to believe someone for owning a Cybertruck? It only takes a slight inverse of this to see how problematic it becomes. Is it okay for MAGA people to bully someone in a Prius because they don't like what it represents? No, it's not. If you wouldn't want it done to you, don't do it to others. It's wrong to bully anyone. Is it wrong to bully Nazis? A Nazi and a Prius owner are not the same. Not everyone deserves the same treatment. Bigots and fascists are not entitled to the tolerance that they seek to actively deny others. It is not only okay to bully fascists and Nazis, but doing so is the only way that a just society can exist. Remember, nobody can fingerprint urine. There is DNA in piss. Use someone else's piss. Good thing I always keep a few jars of someone else's piss handy, just in case. Just take it apart with your bare hands and put it somewhere else. We had a lady on the Facebook Buy Sell page a few months ago rant about how cruel and malicious others were being regarding her Cybertruck. She said something in a comment about how, is this how Jesus would treat others? And some local rabble-rousing asshole was like, Jesus would send that truck to hell and you know it. And oh, the drama that ensued. Raccoons are trying to break into the Cybertrucks, and there's some speculation that this is happening because the raccoons are literally confusing them with dumpsters. I mean, LMAO, but they do legitimately contain garbage. And it looks like the raccoons were able to take chunks out of the quote-unquote indestructible car. Yes? Yes, those do appear to be chunks removed by raccoon. Would a Cybertruck pay child support? Overwhelming poll results, no. The people who said yes will not sleep tonight. They will not wake. What the fuck does that mean? Who lied and said yes? First time seeing one, kill that thing? I want to subscribe to Vandalized Cybertrucks Daily. If only such a publication existed. There's Reddit, I guess. Tesla is recalling nearly all Cybertrucks in the United States to fix an exterior panel that could detach while driving, the company said on Thursday, during a late-night Tesla all-hands meeting in Austin that was live-streamed on Musk's social media platform Thursday night. He did not address the NHTSA recall, but praised the Cybertruck's 5-star safety rating from the agency. Musk called the vehicle very safe in a crash. An adhesive that's quote-unquote susceptible to environmental embrittlement is responsible for body pieces coming unhinged and flying off. Glue? It's just glue? Shrek meme, like, don't even have welded steel. Fucking glue? IDK if that's standard for cars or not, but oh my god. Hey, just a quick reminder for you, it's absolutely not standard in the slightest. The man's a fucking moron. Congratulations to Elon Musk for making cars so bad that no one can tell if a car bomb has just happened or if the car just did that. 6 years ago, elongated muskrat was just some rich guy who bought the company Tesla. I know he likes to brand himself as an entrepreneur or whatever, but he bought a company that was already successful, and he performed fine as their CEO. The company did well under his leadership. At that point, though, he didn't really have much of a creative say in the types of vehicles they were producing. The Cybertruck, by contrast, is Elon Musk's brainchild. It's science fiction, specifically cyberpunk themed, but it's not nerdy. It's manly, actually. It's a truck.
You want a truck that's tough? You want a truck that's really tough? Not fake tough? Oh my fucking god. Well, maybe that was a little too hard.
It's a truck for men. It is literally the biggest, heaviest thing on the road. No one's gonna mess with you in your truck. You know what's another feature it's definitely gonna need? Okay, let's make it bulletproof in case of, you know, all kinds of situations that might happen to you in this cyberpunk dystopia we're living in. You drive around in this thing, people are gonna say, whoa, who is that guy? That guy looks like he's from the future. I bet that guy knows so many smart things. Hello, fellow preppers. You can camp off-grid in it. Do you know what else makes car cool? Fast. So the Cybertruck is competing with rugged pickup trucks. It's also competing with luxury sports cars, because make no mistake, this thing is a luxury car with a luxury car price tag. When you own a Cybertruck, your Cybertruck says, I'm rich and I love attention, but not in a sad way. I'm also a big strong man who can run you off the road in some kind of a Mad Max gunfight situation. Who is this for? What niche is this catering to? What need is this filling? Does it make any interesting improvements on the decades-old concepts of pickup truck or luxury sports car? Shut up! It's the future. Normal people are saying this, and not just weird tech bros obsessed with some, like, fictional, fetishized version of the future. Creating the Cybertruck is a nonsensical business decision, especially coming from Tesla, which previously focused on like very neutral and practical cars that a lot of people liked. It doesn't make sense as a product. It just reeks of egomaniac, wanted to make a cool toy and couldn't be told no. The target audience for the Cybertruck is Elon Musk himself. And the whole concept of it is so deeply off-putting to many of us that we have trouble picturing anyone else who would want this. Thus, I think a lot of us have the tendency to profile the Cybertruck owner as an Elon Musk fanboy, as someone who shares a lot of the values that the Cybertruck encapsulates, someone who really wants to support Elon Musk, even if it means paying an astronomical price for a product that is objectively silly, has the disposable income to do that, and probably nothing else better to do, lives a joyless life and fills the void with novelties, etc. But I've been reading a lot of interviews with Cybertruck owners whose vehicles have been vandalized, and while it's true that some of them did buy it because they enthusiastically support Elon Musk's actions, and if you call it an ugly Nazi car, they'll crawl out of Reddit's butthole and go, how do you think these triggered liberals feel about Volkswagen? So you admit it. So you admit that it's a Nazi car? But I will say, the far larger contingent of people who bought Cybertrucks did not do so because they enthusiastically support Elon Musk's actions, but more so because they're indifferent to them. They don't see it as a political symbol. They mainly bought it, shockingly, I know many people think this is the ugliest thing they've ever seen. Many people bought it because they liked it, because they thought it seemed fun to have a weird car and the disposable income to do that.
There was people around the truck and taking photos and a lot of people laughing. It was very disappointing and frustrating. The friends that I was with were embarrassed about it.
The Tesla owner says he ordered the Cybertruck 4 years ago, well before the presidential election. He did not share his political views and says it really shouldn't matter.
Cindy Chia loves everything about her Tesla Cybertruck she bought last summer. But right after she drove it off the lot,
I got flip off, I think, the next day that I got the car.
Chia says she's not driving the truck to make any kind of political statement. She just likes it and how it drives. And she wants people to be able to agree to disagree.
We should respect each other for different beliefs.
I actually came across like 4 or 5 separate accounts from small business owners who bought it because they thought it would be an attention-grabbing way to advertise. They subsequently covered this thing in their company branding, and they thought it looked cool. They report getting a lot of attention, positive attention from kids who thought it was interesting. Having people ask them to take pictures of it in public. They didn't realize how angry other people were gonna get about it until suddenly they found themselves driving around getting flipped off multiple times a day and even losing business because of their Cybertrucks, because it is seen as representing what someone believes politically, which they think is unfair. And if you ask them about Elon Musk, they'll say, well, I don't agree with everything he does, but I'm not Elon Musk. Why are you being mean to me? It's just a car. Is it though? Is it really just a car? If you bought it from a Nazi wannabe who is currently eviscerating the US government and making the world worse to live in. He's making the worse. I don't know. I'm not convinced that being indifferent to Elon Musk's actions is justifiable. Sure, you're some rich guy. Imagine it. You're some rich guy, and nothing he stands for really personally offends or affects you enough to oppose supporting his company. So you buy a Cybertruck because you just thought it was cool. You thought it was cool. A Facebook group for Cybertruck owners is full of videos and photos of passerbys and other drivers flipping them off, leaving notes that say, "What's Elon's cum taste like?" and "Nazi car," and people kicking their cars, throwing slices of cheese at it, etc. This genre of post is being made near daily in a group called Cybertruck Owners Only, a development that shows 2 things. The wider protests and backlash against Elon Musk at Tesla dealerships is, at the very least, making it uncomfortable for some people to own a Cybertruck. The protests also highlight that Cybertrucks are outfitted with many cameras that are always recording in sentry mode, and that a community of Cybertruck owners are sometimes trying to identify people using this footage. In a video taken from a Cybertruck of a man throwing American cheese slices at the windshield, many comments suggest filing a police report and attempting to dox the man by posting a screen grab of his face to social media. Freeze frame and blow up his face, go on all the social media platforms and post your video. I would file a police report stating that if he is willing to do this in public, he obviously has some type of vendetta against me, and therefore I feel threatened and fearful of my life. Others have suggested that Sentry Mode should use facial recognition to keep their trucks safe. At the very least, it should say, "You are being recorded," while describing the person. Let it use facial recognition through the internet and call the offenders by their name while threatening legal actions. That's a creative idea. Okay, Jeremy. Tesla dealership Cybertruck spray painted in northern Colorado. Police investigate as vandalism, attempted arson. This kind of shit is why I now keep Sentry on, even in my own driveway. It's something I always worry about when I park in public garages or town. I used to get shade from conservatives when I told them I owned an EV. That's almost disappeared, lol, crazy times. This is just infuriating to me. This is my local Tesla service center, and it pisses me off that these sensitive children feel the need to vandalize others' hard-earned and beloved vehicles like that accomplishes anything. All this done by low-life scumbags that couldn't even afford the windshield on one and contribute nothing of value to society. The stupidity of these individuals is baffling. In Burbank, California, they're holding a rally against Elon and Tesla at a Tesla service center. People get so damn triggered over the dumbest things. This is a hate crime, not vandalism. Just a reminder that we are talking about this. We are talking about this. Hate to say it, but 100% this wouldn't have happened back in 2021, when the majority of the public had a favorable opinion of Elon. Now the opposite is true. Nowadays, you can't go a day without a negative article or press about him. Wow. That's terrible. Yes, inexcusable by any metric. All because he bought Twitter and stopped the censoring. Oh yes, Twitter is a much freer place under the reign of Elon. Maybe an inside job. Might be more likely than one would expect. Who else has access or knowledge to all of the vehicles when they'd be unattended? People hate success. No matter what area I'm driving in, it can be a very affluent area. They throw their thumbs down, he told me over the phone. Very few people say they like the truck because of Elon Musk. Nobody really claims to like the guy, Turner told me before making his thoughts on Musk clear. Elon Musk, that jackass. I like his technology, I like his truck. He doesn't shut his freaking mouth. He's a big-mouthed turkey. Once he gets into the political stuff, it really ruins his brand. It ruins the Tesla brand, he told me, saying loads of folks dislike his truck specifically because of the controversial CEO. Thumbs up, thumbs down, middle finger, that's normal, he says of his experience of driving the stainless steel pickup. The first week I drove my Cybertruck, I took my family to Starbucks in it. While my family went in, I took some cool pictures of it and I was thinking, this is super awesome. As I was doing that, 3 people walked behind me and started looking at me and laughing. Then one of them called me a Nazi. I go, what are you talking about? I'm just buying this awesome truck. I just think it's awesome. I'm not a Nazi. They were like, whatever, Nazi. I thought it was weird. Later on, one of my daughters told me that if I keep the Cybertruck, she was going to get bullied. She said, Dad, under no circumstances keep this. My son, who leans right, said I should be able to drive the car I want and not have to worry about what people say. And who knows how far these guys will take it. They could harm my kids physically, and I couldn't live with myself if that happened. To me, it just wasn't worth seeing my daughter live in fear of the vehicle getting vandalized at their school. I ended up taking it back, and Tesla was really cool about it. Nothing that's happening right now is logical at all. It's all emotionally driven and ideologically cultivated. My kids are afraid of taking this nice vehicle that's fast, awesome, and cool and saves on gas. It's probably great for the environment. The consensus on that, by the way, is yes, it's an electric vehicle. It's better for the environment than a vehicle that runs on gas, but it is the worst electric vehicle. The fact that it is so huge and heavy makes it really inefficient. It needs to be charged way more than other electric vehicles. It's consumes so much power that a vehicle that is designed well wouldn't. What's worse is that I'm a huge fan of this technology. I really want to drive a Cybertruck. I think they're freaking awesome. They're really fun to drive. They're roomy and spacious. I wasn't buying it for other people. I already own a Tesla, which I absolutely love. I was buying the Cybertruck for me because I wanted to drive the future. I thought this was the land of the free, but this doesn't sound like freedom to me. I've been in a Cybertruck owners only group for a year just to watch posers try to haul over towing capacity, but it has yielded something more beautiful lately. The hate is real, SMH. This is what I came out to. I was just at a casino having a good time, LOL. Too bad if you take it through a car wash, it will literally break. The perils of turning cars into computers were laid bare by a hapless Cybertruck owner who claimed his ride was rendered an $80,000 paperweight by something as benign as a wash. Now we tech-savvy people are well aware that computers and water do not mix. But cars get dirty, and when you've tossed your life savings into a Cybertruck, you probably want to keep it looking immaculate. A TikTok user regaled his followers with a tale of how he took his Cybertruck to the beach with his dogs. What sounds like a lovely day out soon turned to sorrow, however, as on the way back he stopped off at a car wash to rid his luxury whip of sand. He then parked in his garage, where the silver monstrosity seemed to breathe its last. The screen in the central console, which is absolutely essential to operating the Cybertruck because it hosts critical information like speed and rear view, went black as pitch and wouldn't respond. Everything else, including the rear screens, appeared to function fine. It's only that driving the Cybertruck without that console would be terribly unsafe. The owner lamented that he's 2.5 months in and 3,400 miles. emails. An ex-user plumbed the depths of the Cybertruck owner's manual, which routinely turns up comedy gold. In this instance, attention was drawn to a line saying, "Caution, failure to put Cybertruck in car wash mode may result in damage. Damage caused by car washes is not covered by the warranty." The fact that the Cybertruck even has such a mode is frankly ludicrous. There was also the perplexing warning, "Do not wash in direct sunlight." It puts us in mind of Cybertruck owners reporting rust forming on the car's exterior, despite the commonly held belief that the stainless steel body would be immune to corrosion. Tesla's documentation once again served only to highlight the Cybertruck's weakness, such as a lack of clear coat. To prevent damage to the exterior, immediately remove corrosive substances, such as grease oil, bird droppings, tree resin, dead insects, tar spots, road salt, industrial fallout, etc. It says, "Do not wait until Cybertruck is due for a complete wash. If necessary, use denatured alcohol to remove tar spots and stubborn grease stains. Then immediately wash the area with water and a mild non-detergent soap to remove alcohol."
It looks like hell all the time, with bug guts.
Bugs just whack this thing.
And water spots and fingerprints.
We've left a bunch of dead flies on it overnight.
So?
Don't you remember the article?
Oh,
The manual says you can't leave bird droppings, dead insects, tree resin.
I read that, but that's the same as
corrodes.
That's the same as all paint.
Yeah, but this doesn't have a clear coat.
Yeah.
And it says it's built for any planet.
Well, what doesn't make any sense? Those things aren't on any planet. If they were, then there'd be extraterrestrial life that we'd know about. There's no bugs, so it's built for every other planet. But this one, based on that logic.
Musk once touted the Cybertruck as literally bulletproof, but whether it's even waterproof seems open to some debate. Rob Roth is a brand new Cybertruck owner from Alberta, Canada, and says his heart is broken after his truck completely fell apart less than 24 hours into ownership. Rob adds that the Cybertruck bricked itself as he was attempting to defrost the truck before driving it. Rob shared his story on the Tesla Cybertruck Canada group on Facebook and simply titled it, "Heartbroken." I picked up my Cybertruck yesterday afternoon, drove 2 hours home, and had a blast driving it last night with friends and family. This morning, I defrosted it and drove it to work. At lunchtime, the defrost did not engage, would not go into drive or reverse, started giving me errors/warnings, and then shut right down. This is not an ideal situation for a truck with a starting price of $165,000 in Canada. Oh yeah, I forgot about the conversion rate. Yeah, our dollar sucks. It's even worse here. Finally, Rob concludes his post with a picture of the Cybertruck loaded onto a flatbed. Most people would be unhappy with this sight, but Rob didn't seem bothered, writing, "Note, my Cybertruck does look awesome on that tow truck." I have no sympathy for this situation. Anyone who would pay $165K for a vehicle is nuts. If he has money to burn, it could help with many, many other causes. Buy a Honda. Best car I've ever owned. I know I shouldn't be happy about this, but I hate Elon Musk so much I have to confess that I am. God, scathing, Carol, scathing. You have to be an idiot to drop that kind of money on a piece of junk, like a cyber schmuck. Be careful when closing your Cybertruck door. I parked on an incline, exited the truck, and as I was closing the door, I managed to clip the very corner of the door against my leg. When I got home, the wife said I needed to go get stitches, so I did. I'm clumsy. This is 100% my fault. Still love the truck. Warning, graphic bloody image.
Oh my God. Also for vegetable prep.
What if I just do my finger as well?
Surely this will stop.
We managed to get up to, I think, 4 carrots in one go.
Yeah.
Which is a whole hand.
Yeah.
Or 3.
Yeah, definitely the hand of a child.
A light pressure and a drag, and that peels.
Yeah.
That's really sharp. You could definitely make a salad with this thing.
Stop opening it. God, dude. It went down, but then it locked. It was like,
Tesla has been ordered to recall nearly 4,000 of its Cybertrucks due to an accelerator pedal that can stick in place when pressed down.
So a couple days ago I'm driving, and let me see if I can get a good view here. I'm driving and this goes here. As I'm driving, this slid up, and as you can see, based on the design of the floorboard, this sliding up, and the way this was still hooked onto the pedal, it held the accelerator down 100%. Had a clear mind, didn't panic, and holding the brake down overrides the pedal. So I was able to stop the car, but anytime I lift the brake, it would start accelerating again.
What is this? Why does everything feel this way? It feels so cheap. There's hard plastic everywhere that not only would you find on, well, cheaper trucks, but also cheaper vehicles. This isn't even present in less expensive Teslas.
It squeaks and cracks and pops and moves and makes noises like my 1980s Volkswagen hatchback.
I wouldn't let this pass on a Sub-Zero fridge.
Nothing in here feels befitting its price. It feels like a $50,000 car from 5 years ago because, well, that's what the Cybertruck was supposed to be.
Here is an important safety recall from Tesla Motors issued to me. The front windshield wiper motor controller may stop functioning due to electrical overstress.
We did some more damage right there. I just put it back.
Oh man, why is there so much plastic, low-hanging plastic on the Cybertruck?
Yeah, look, it's already kind of coming off here. I don't know, Tommy.
Cybertruck owners when the accelerator pedal gets stuck. Oop, haha, that Elon. He may not be perfect, but he's a dreamer and I can't help but respect that. So when I posted this on Twitter, multiple people pointed out that the driver would not go through the windshield because the glass is unbreakable. So I adjusted the comment to account for this. And everyone agreed it was much funnier. Unbreakable glass? What could go wrong? I'm not crying because I'm burning to death. I'm crying because I'm so proud of Elon. This rusty Cybertruck is stuck on a Santa Cruz beach right now. There are no beaches in Santa Cruz that allow vehicles. These guys should expect to pay a hefty fine. The owner of the Tesla Cybertruck, who is from Nevada, drove the vehicle onto a Marina State beach over a curb and sidewalk and passed a sign saying, "No vehicles on beach or dunes." A California State Parks spokesperson said over email, "The Cybertruck soon got stuck on the beach." Cybertruck got T-boned by a Nissan Sentra, but you can hardly tell. It's a tank, not even the glass shattered. The person in the Cybertruck broke both his legs while the lady in the obliterated Nissan is unscathed. But I'm glad the Cybertruck is okay. This reminds me of something I saw before, can't remember where. If your vehicle doesn't have crumple zones, your body becomes the crumple zone. A consequence of this video has been learning just how horrific US road safety standards are. They allow car manufacturers to self-certify that their vehicles are safe. There is no third-party testing before these things are allowed to be sold to the public. The NHTSA does crash test and give safety ratings to vehicles, but they were originally not planning to test the Cybertruck because it was such a niche vehicle. Tesla actually released its own crash test footage of the Cybertruck to assure customers about the safety of it. However, many experts who looked at this footage were concerned by the apparent lack of crumple zones on the Cybertruck. Crumple zones are essential to absorb the impact of a crash so that your body doesn't. This is incredible life-saving technology, actually. Sorry, it doesn't look cool enough. Anyway, the NHTSA has since crash tested the Cybertruck and given it a high rating, actually, and it looks maybe a little bit more crumply in their video. I don't know. I'm not an expert. So maybe it is safer for passengers than was originally feared. However, this thing is it's an absolute menace to the streets. As vehicles get bigger and heavier, they also get deadlier. It's a trend that has some concern about Tesla's new Cybertruck, a 6,800-pound electric behemoth with sports car acceleration that experts say will be lethal to pedestrians and occupants of lighter vehicles. Tesla CEO Elon Musk defended the truck in an X post last week. "We are highly confident that Cybertruck will be much safer per mile than other trucks for both occupants and pedestrians." The Cybertruck's extreme acceleration capabilities combined with its weight means that drivers will have less time to react to pedestrians and collisions will be deadlier. Just like Elon says, if you have an argument with another car, you will win, so long as winning means inflicting life-threatening damage to other humans on the road. Isabel Chu, Associate Director of the Data Core at Stanford Center for Population Health Sciences, summarized that deadly geometry. When you increase the weight and acceleration of any car, you're increasing the probability of a crash due to the nature of speed, and you're increasing the lethality of any crash that does happen, she said. Chu said this has led to a sort of arms race in which you have to have the biggest, toughest car, or you die.
Many Tesla cultists do recall that I was on the Joe Rogan podcast about 5 years ago, and I said I didn't think that they could build this. I thought it was a scam or a fake. I thought that because I said there was no way this truck would pass a pedestrian impact safety standard. I wasn't wrong that the truck won't pass a pedestrian impact safety standard. It won't. And that's why they can't sell it in Europe. I didn't think Tesla would build a product that they couldn't sell globally. But I didn't realize that America has no pedestrian impact standards. Has any company built something that would be so dangerous to a pedestrian? This is a knife blade. It's an open knife blade.
If the tunnel is closed, which is how Tesla recommends you drive the vehicle to get maximum range, your rearview mirror is completely blocked. And so, well, then how do you see out of the back of your car? Well, the reverse camera. Oh, and I hope there's no rain while you're driving down the road because there is no rear camera washer. Yeah, there have been moments where I can't see out of the back of my $100,000 truck.
But as we got onto a rainy highway and as night fell, well, the rear view camera graduated from crap to pointless.
So I don't think the headlights on ours are pointed correctly because they're shining in everybody's eyes and not on the road in front. So in the dark and the rain, scary.
Look at the visibility out the front. It's terrible. So that front camera is really coming in handy.
Man, can I not see anything. What this actually represents is someone who might find themselves wanting to run over people, which it seems quite adept at, actually.
A YouTuber who imported a Tesla Cybertruck to the UK this year is struggling to get it road ready due to ongoing safety and regulatory issues. Having purchased it from a previous owner in California, Yanni planned to bring it to England by ship, but Auto Evolution reports that he was immediately hit with his first hurdle, being denied transporting the vehicle via ship due to its fire risk. After opting to ship the Cybertruck over via plane, the YouTuber has since faced further difficulties while trying to get it on the road. Therefore, if Yanni ever wants to get the vehicle on the road, which he aims to do by Christmas, he would need to cover up any unsafe edges with rubber. While skiing over the weekend, had 2 separate instances of art on my Cybertruck, and I'm just here to ask the community to reconsider. This isn't the first of such instances, but it is the first time that someone drew a penis on my 4-year-old's door, and the first time one of my kids was the one to discover it. So I felt compelled to speak my piece. Look, I get it, there's a lot of nonsense going on right now, and I'm just as displeased as most everyone, but taking out your frustrations on me and my family just spreads even more hate. And before anyone tries to claim that buying the truck was politically motivated in the first place, apparently all other comparable cars are too big or too small for him. Those other options physically do not work for my family. Also, I took delivery in early 2024, well before the election season and well before everything going on today. Had it been a year later, I probably would have tried harder to find a way to make something else work. P.S. I have the videos of the artists, but I am intentionally not sharing them because I'm not trying to make this into a big deal. Just asking a favor. One mountain enthusiast to another. Forgetting to the mountains. I think he's forgetting that Cybertrucks cannot go to the mountains. There is snow up there. I understand it also gets cold up there. Sometimes the snow falls. Sometimes it turns to water. Sometimes the falling snow turns to rain. I have heard there may be problems. Guys, I literally couldn't buy any other vehicle. You guys, I took delivery in early 2024, which was like so long ago. I'm serious. There had never been any indications of Musk being a dumpster fire prior to like last month. Absolutely no sympathy. People are being sent to Guantanamo Bay because of these clowns. I could not care less about your mobile fridge. It's not like he was a good dude before he started throwing Hitler salutes around. I probably would have tried harder to find a way to make something else work. Probably. This guy can fuck all the way off. He's not in the least bit displeased. He's just trying to save his own skin. I'd be more worried about putting my 4-year-old inside an inescapable death oven than them seeing an abstract doodle of a dick. They're more likely to lose an arm or a hand to the sharp parts and doors than die in a fire. You do have to laugh, really. This guy is all, won't someone please think of the children, over some graffiti on his shitbox meme lemon. Oh, something else that I learned, by the way, while making this video is apparently lemon is a derogatory term for a car with a lot of manufacturing and or safety issues. I don't know why, but cool, sure. But where exactly was his concern for his kid when he bought a vehicle that can slice the kid's hand to confetti anytime they open the door? Where was his concern then? You don't get to act like you're all worried about your kid's safety while simultaneously driving your kid around in the most dangerous, unreliable, and incompetently designed vehicle in human history. He's just mad he paid that much for a shitty truck that can't haul shit. Anybody who bought that didn't do it for the hauling capabilities. And that's not true. They usually have a huge fragile ego to haul around. Buying the racism car and then putting this in the window, BRB. Please consider before vandalizing and performing acts of hate. I'm half Jewish. And my queer partner is a Ukrainian Jew. My family has a recognized and verifiable history of resisting and fighting against actual Nazis, and we both have family that survived the Holocaust. If you would like to peacefully discuss your perspective to myself or my partner, we will make ourselves available. Please leave your contact info. Before you vandalize my $100,000 statue of General Robert E. Lee high-fiving a Klans member, please remember that I have 3 black friends. My family has a recognized and verifiable history of resisting and fighting against actual Nazis, a trait I do not share. Elon Musk calls for arrest after a woman points her finger at a Cybertruck. He makes this weird claim that the attacks on Tesla cars are being orchestrated. There's some puppet master, there's some conspiracy against him. Cool, sure. It's not that people just fucking hate you. Musk pointed to a video that showed several middle-aged women shouting at a man through the window of a Cybertruck. "Get off my fucking car," the man yelled, after one of the women pointed her finger at him. "You touch that shit again and I'll break your fucking fingers." "Okay, come on," the woman shouted back. "Bring it on." Another woman called the driver a Nazi while a nearby crowd chanted, "Shame." Musk responded by calling for arrests. Ah yes! Mr. Free Speech again! Really fun fact for you guys, in case you didn't know this. Much of Musk's immense personal wealth is directly tied to Tesla stock. He is the single largest shareholder in the company. He owns something like, 410 million shares, which is almost 13% of the company. Opposing Tesla, trying to create a world where people no longer want to own Tesla cars. It's not just symbolic, it is literally, right now, tanking Tesla's stock price, and therefore tanking Musk's personal wealth as well.
Since peaking in December, Tesla's stock price has fallen by half amid calls for boycotts and slumping sales.
I really don't agree with what he says a lot of the time and what he's doing right now. So it kind of does put a stain on the company that he's very publicly heading.
I bought this car before. It was just a car back then. I'm like, I'm probably not gonna buy a Tesla again because of the whole stigma.
Hi, guess what? Guess who entirely neglected to film a proper outro to this video and now it needs to go up today? Hi, it's me. Thank you so much for watching my Cybertruck video. I'm now grappling with the fact that this is like the most normie video I've made in years. Strange makes a video that's not about fucking 20-year-old fandom scandals or Tumblr posts. Whoa. Insane. Anyway, moral of the video, don't buy a Cybertruck, because you'll look like a clown and people will throw cheese at you, and also you'll puree pedestrians and give money to a Nazi. So don't do that. Good night, citizens of the internet. I will see you in another Strange very soon.